How does Jason see? What does he hear? How does he get around the map? What's it like to be Jason Voorhees?
What made you decide on Friday the 13th?
The first Friday the 13th film I saw was Friday the 13th Part 3 when he gets the mask, and I was like 9 years old. And the blending of that hockey mask and the wooded setting with this powerful killer, it just stuck with me, and I think it stuck with everyone, and there's a reason that he continued on. So it was very real. Everyone's been camping, right? Everyone's been in the woods, alone at night on like a Boy Scout trip or camping, and you hear things, and so it's very relatable. So I think that's what helped get me attached.
Damn it! Just die!
For me, just the fact that you kind of were rooting for Jason the whole time in all the movies. Like, I grew up on all the films. Personally, like Part 6 is my favorite. Just realizing that this is the perfect setting to approach asymmetrical gameplay through the lens of horror, specifically Friday the 13th.
What aspects of the movies did you prioritize? Like this, we have to get this element in the game. Besides Jason, of course.
Obviously the Jasons. You know, we had to get all the Jasons that we could in the game, and we had to pay attention to painstaking details. So we had to get every mask right, every piece of clothing, and those are very hard things to do. But we brought in famous locations like Higgins Haven and Packanack Lodge. You know, those structures aren't available anymore. They're torn down or burnt down, and those blueprints don't even exist. So we spent a lot of time getting those locations right. But at its core, the game starts when Jason shows up. So we asked ourselves, what do they do in the movies when Jason shows up? And what would you do in real life? We wanted players to instantly spawn in, know that Jason's there, and use their intuition. Oh, I gotta find a weapon. Well, we put a weapon in the game. Oh, I gotta call the cops. We put a phone line in the game, but it's broken. Oh, we should get a car and escape. So we tried to go down the list of everything your mind would actually jump to first, and that's how we built our gameplay, essentially.
The other thing that was really important from the films, like inside of games, people kind of undervalue audio feedback and music and sound effects, but especially in horror films, like they're like 50% of the movie, and in our game, it's like 70% of the experience. Like the music cues are kind of warning you subtly that Jason's there, but they also harken back and they make you remember watching the films and being scared. So it kind of all harmoniously kind of weaves together. And so audio is actually something that people don't expect to be a driving force of the game, but it actually is.
Yeah, it's a major part of gameplay, our audio is, so.
Friday the 13th aside, if there was no restrictions and this was fully taken care of, you know, what other franchises would you want to do the same thing with?
It's not one that most people would pick, but I see a lot of gameplay potential and a lot of fun in it, and I'm also scared of clowns. So Killer Clowns from Outer Space, to me, would be like a dream game.
A little known secret, a long time ago when we were designing, coming up with the slasher idea, killer versus normal people, the original idea was actually a clown game, like trapped in a carnival, and you had to escape with your friends. It never got any farther than paper, but that eventually evolved into, wait, we can just do a Friday the 13th tribute instead. But at one point, we were considering a clown game, and it wasn't going to be Killer Clowns because we didn't want to get the license on it because we were a small company. But at one point, that was a basis of an idea, and it's kind of stuck with us. So I've said this a million times, but my favorite horror franchise is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the day I saw it, I'll never forget. I can tell you what I was wearing. I was like 12 years old.
Now, as you're thinking of DLCs and additions in the future, will we be able to ever see maybe other franchise horror characters coming into this world you've already created?
A really good idea, but this is a Friday the 13th game, and we do have that. It's a privilege, not a burden, but staying true to that formula and that franchise. Along with other horror characters comes other legal battles and other rights holders. So a lot of people always bring up, man, it'd be really cool if we had a fighting game that was nothing but horror characters. The problem is you have to go out and get the license for each one of those horror characters and pay those people for the license. And then there's like a billion contracts, a billion companies going in circles because they're not all owned by the same. So really, I think that's what stopped us from having other horror characters join licensed products like this. Mortal Kombat did a couple where they were able to get Leatherface and Jason and Xenomorph. But those are 3.
I think even Mortal Kombat, I think they only included like 1 in a game.
Yeah, and they were DLC characters that you paid for so that revenue could go to rights holders. Each one would come with a contract, so we're already a small company, so for us to navigate that world would be insane. So, but it's a good idea. A lot of people want it. Once a week we get that question online. hey, is there going to be Michael Myers DLC? Hey, is there Freddy? Put Freddy in your game because they think Freddy versus Jason was a Friday 13th film. It was actually a Freddy film. That's why it starts with Freddy versus Jason. So
I mean, the good thing about it is you got people excited.
No, I did. That's good. The conversation is happening. So that means we're doing our job. And
Maybe they'll be open to it down the road. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if they can figure out with contracts and lawyers how we can make this work.
Yeah.
Not saying we're not open to it.
Hopefully, one thing at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Exactly.